Okay, here we are again, and actually I got this door open, and there's no way I'm going to be able to go up there. I mean, these are steep, very steep. And right at the top here, here's where the crawl space access is, and there's a bunch of insulation up there. That the only time you'd want to view that is if you were to be in a. It's got two handles on it. I don't know if you can see that. This is just a hanger for hanging some things. Uh, but yeah, we don't really have good access up there. Not for on a showing type of thing. Now, here's one thing I want to bring to your attention. If you look at the, let me see if I can get this closer here. There we go. No, I don't like that either. There we go. All right, if you look at the relationship of the trim with the ceiling, you can see there's a little bit of sag to the left. It's not real pronounced, but there is a little bit there. But keep in mind, this is an old home, not uncommon to see that kind of thing. Overall, the walls and ceilings look pretty good. There's some cracking up here, right at the very top. And then again, if I stand in this bedroom here, you can see, and I'll try to get back here. There we go. There, it feels to me that there's a little bit of sag there, going to my left again, and again, you kind of feel it right there too. It's very, very slight, so it's not something that I haven't seen before. What I'm going to be concerned about is when we get down in the basement, if we see a bunch of jack posts that have to do support. That would be a concern. But at this point, I'm not that concerned. So let's head down to the basement here. I just want to make sure to get all the lights up here, if I can. All right, let's go down to the basement and take a look at that. Now, they have a cat that I'm not supposed to let out, and I haven't even seen that cat as yet. So, and you would never know that a cat lived here, actually. It's a real pleasure to show a clean home. There we go. All right, now we're going down to the basement. So we've got access outside from a side door. We've got access to the rear, and we've also got access from the front porch. So here we are in our basement, and this is a kind of a brick kind of material, and then they mortared it when they put it in. These joists are about 8-inch, which is kind of typical of the joists in my kitchen. You don't want to put ceramic tile in with those because they're not beefy enough to support it. You get too much bounce in it, which is not uncommon for that. It's not a structural defect or anything, but you just won't be happy with ceramic. But wood, it's just fine. Let me see if there's anything in here that I can turn a light on with. What I really kind of like, here, let's try this. There we go. All right, we've got a GFCI outlet here, and it's all in conduit. I like that. The walls look pretty plumb from everything I can see. And I really like walking through a house. Yeah, if there's deflection, it's very minimal. And if you look at this floor, you've got typical cracking in it, but where you really see it manifested in an old house is when it uplifts the concrete, because the subgrade water has a tendency to move that, to push it up. And I'm really not seeing a lot of that. Maybe a little bit back in here. Here's your sewer. They've been into this sewer before. That's that metal cap on top. That looks too new. I have no idea what this thing is. I thought it might for a minute be I thought it might be something having to do with a laundry chute, but it doesn't. You see all this duct tape, and that's probably covering asbestos. That's been their attempt to take care of it. You'll note when they do their laundry, the washing machine goes into this tub, and then that water goes into this drain here in the floor. So it's not all contained, but not uncommon to see that configuration in an older home like this. And of course, they do have a dehumidifier going, which is what I do too. And this is a Cutler hammer box. What I like, I can see all the screws are in. It says 100 amp, so that's a good thing. And we've got this table down here, and I know what that's for. That's for folding clothes. And then they've got an 80% efficient water heater here that TMI must have put in back in the day, and it has to vent into the chimney because it's not high efficiency. So this furnace is a Bryant. I don't know what age it is, but the furnace itself is a high efficiency unit, and that's both those pipes that are going out. So I'm just trying to see. They did a furnace tune in 1985. I can tell you, well, 9/30/24. A furnace tune. I don't know what the age of this is. You'll be able to find out, like with a whole house inspection and that kind of thing, I would guess. Just want to take another look up here. You can see that these joists have been painted before. This is, I don't know that we've talked about this much, but on this back wall, I think this wall gets probably most of the moisture, if there's issues at all. And this is what they call effervescence. And this is typical. And again, there's a need to take this stuff off with a wire brush, and then what you want to do is back plaster it maybe, and then you see how that stuff is real powdery. And that is typical. I mean, it's not uncommon to see that stuff. Here you can see where you can push in on it. And it's, again, it's just typical. And the main thing is you just got to keep water away from the house as much as possible. But I do think when periods of heavy sustained rains, this is where they would get some moisture penetration. And you can also see that's why they've got this stuff all sitting up on kind of like a pallet or something, just because of that. Here's some extra screens for the windows upstairs, I'm guessing. And we're right under the dining room here. But overall, I mean, the walls look pretty good. They really do. Now, I did see some asbestos on one of the pipes, and I'm trying to remember where I saw that. That's what happens when you're when you're in information overload, you think you're seeing everything. So there's no extra jack posts or anything like that. So if there is any sag in this house, it's not because that it's really taken away. I mean, it's just become an old house is what it's become. Let me take another look here. I thought, oh, right here, right on the back part, right up here. And again, I think that could be painted, and you could really, as far as a hazard, it depends on what you want to make of that hazard. What's really interesting is there's a lot of new wiring in here. I don't see any knob and tube. I'd have to guess that there's knob and tube behind the walls upstairs because of the age of the home. But overall, I mean, this house has been a real pleasure to show. All right, I'm going to let you go here. Oh, one last thing. It looks like we've got copper coming in from the street, which is really a good thing instead of lead lines. And then you've got, and I can tell you that because why I feel that way, because it's kind of a bluish tone to it, which is what copper can get when it's combined with moisture. And then this stuff is all copper. So, I mean, that's a pretty good thing. So anyway, I will let you go on this, and we'll, I don't know if I can get in the garage. If I can't, then we'll just have to deal with that.